We need, as a society, to stand together, stand up against discrimination, be there for each other in respect, but also understand that we have work to do as well in Canada.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau calls on Canadians to stay united as Americans protest the death of another unarmed black man in police custody. But black Canadians say it's also important to remember Canada's own history of anti-black racism.
And I sometimes wonder if it's necessary for Canadians to I don't know get a history book and tattoo the footnotes on their own bodies to remember the history of this country or even our own recent past.
Floyd died in police custody on May 25th. The 4 arresting officers have been fired, but Minnesota prosecutors initially said they wouldn't be pursuing charges against them, leading to violent protests. Trudeau acknowledged the presence of racism in Canada, but Demise says Canada has been slow to help black, immigrant, and Indigenous communities, which have already been shown to be suffering from COVID-19 at higher rates.
Anti-black racism is real. It's in the United States, but it's also in Canada. And we know people are facing systemic discrimination, unconscious bias, and anti-black racism every single day.
We know that those communities are often highly correlated to over-policing, correlated to low health outcomes, correlated to education gaps, etc. And for some reason that we just can't quite put our fingers on, the contours of the COVID crisis and all of these other factors seem to find the exact same shape.
Trudeau's response contrasts with the American president, but Demise says Canada needs to hold itself to a higher standard than that.
If we're going to use Donald Trump as an example or an exemplar of what leadership looks like and then try to peg ourselves to a little bit higher than that, then I weep for this country, I'm sorry to say.
Demise adds that while Canada has done a better job than America in supporting its vulnerable communities during COVID-19, he points out that initiatives like the CERB and wage subsidy benefit were only rolled out after pressure from opposition parties. In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.